Welcome to I'm Loving Life podcast. A&T Mechanical, me and Tim going solo. We're going back to back.
Timmy Jam is here.
Timmy.
I'm trying to lean into the whole Timmy thing.
Oh, yeah.
But it was funny. So we went over to the Mike Schultz guy again. And the first thing when he comes to the door is like, "What's up, brother?"
What's up, brother?
I was like, "Thank you for interacting like that. It just made my day." Like
Tuesday.
Yeah, it's
Tuesday.
so great. It's so great.
But I was going a different route because it's 4th of July.
Oh yeah.
I was super excited. We did the Lime Realtor thing this weekend.
The fireworks.
And
it was the fireworks show was an hour and 6 minutes long.
Like a long.
Yeah.
Like it wasn't like here's one, there's a little kid like shooting off. It's like
consistently.
Yeah. It's very impressive.
And then they're holding the guys down. There's like 4 guys down there, and they wire all of it themselves. They put it all together in their garage, all the fuses. They do all that stuff. And then it's entertaining too because you look down the field, and they're probably 3 acres away, probably from where we were at, because we're more on top of the hill. So you kind of look down, and that's where they had all the fireworks at. And you could see the guys holding Roman candles, and not just regular Roman candles.
No, they're like beefed up.
Yeah, these things are just going like almost like regular firecrackers.
It's amazing,
you know. But what was interesting is we were still feeling pieces from the fireworks like land on us from that far away. And I looked at the car afterwards when we turned the lights on.
It's trash.
And there was just stuff, just stuff on it.
I mean, they do it right.
Yeah. Like, it's the most impressive show. And someone was in the comment like, man, how does Edmond only do 15 minutes because of cost or whatever? And these guys are going an hour and 6 minutes long.
I mean, the amount of money they spend on that is so impressive. But, I mean, it makes sense because you're giving back. But, I mean, what kind of fireworks do you like?
I like artillery shells.
So it's the one pump.
Boom. Yeah, that's my favorite. But I also love the sparklers, the ones that shoot out a bunch of stuff and then that they made.
Yeah.
I'm not really a fan of the big colors and all that kind of stuff. I like the loud noises and the popping. Kind of like, they almost pop like crackers almost,
right. But like, if you had an endless budget, would you throw a show like that together? Would you enjoy that?
Absolutely. I would. That... for like A&T to put a
bucket list,
dude, like a client appreciation event.
Oh yeah,
I would love that. Absolutely. I'd have do it at my place, whatever, and we can just light up, and we'll do how they do it with the they sign
vendors.
Well, no, like the quit claim deed, like they sign it over, they get the insurance on. The next day it goes back into it. That way the liability is not on me.
But man, just imagine, like, I get excited. Well, I used to be like a pyro, like, loved it. And now, like, with the little kids, they get so excited with the little fountains. Mm-hmm. I'm more excited about what the kids, how they react to it and be able to do it than, like, me doing it. Which,
well, it's kind of like, Christmas, right?
Yeah.
When you're a kid, like, you enjoy as a kid and you kind of get over it. But, man, once your kids get old enough to actually appreciate it and stuff, like... The best first time Christmas we had was when Kinsley, I want to say she was 3, probably.
Yeah.
And man, like the whole thing up, she's 5 now, and now it's gotten like crazier now. But the whole thing, it's like, what time are we gonna open our presents? Can I open up one tonight? Like, oh man, I can't. The excitement of like, I have to force myself to fall asleep and then get up early. Like the last time they ran into our room, Like she woke us up at 6 o'clock in the morning to go in there, and that part of it kind of brought me back.
Right?
Yeah, I don't really care about.
Is
the
it
presents.
sad that I really don't know what presents I got?
I don't know either. My wife does. All that,
so we were both being very excited about it when they opened. Oh yeah, that's a great toy that I can play with.
Okay, it's mainly your money that paid for it. Probably, I know it is for me. So
no, she tells me what I but sometimes I forget, and I'm like, man.
Well, Rachel used to say, "Hey, you got them this." Whatever. I was
That's nice. Little prep. Prep.
But it's even like that for, like, we do Dirty Santa, like, with my side of the family and with hers.
Right.
And we do a Dirty Santa, and then we've gotten to where, the family unit's gotten so big, and none of us are rich, obviously, that we'll do, like, we'll draw a name for somebody and then buy, like, a $50 gift for that person.
Right.
But my wife still does all that, because I'm like, I'm
Don't
not
rat
spending
her
my
out. She
time.
did good. Yeah, it's good.
No, Rachel. Everyone knows. Everyone knows. Rachel does it. I don't do anything.
Okay, I think everybody knows that Lainey does it too.
I just don't care enough.
But we're getting off the topic about 4th of July.
Yeah.
It's good. We're going to the parade.
Mm-hmm. That's on July 3rd. We're going to be up there. I think we have to
I
be
thought
up there
it's
by
July
8.
4th.
Is it?
It's on the 4th.
Thursday?
Yes. July 4th is
I don't know why
on
it
Thursday.
says the 3rd. My apologies. The fact checker over here is. Yep. July 4th.
Why wouldn't they have it on the holiday?
I don't know.
So
strike that from the record.
So July 4th, we'll be at the parade, Edmond Parade. Every year we get in trouble. This year, I don't think there's a good possibility
They
I
said
could.
no throwing liquid of any kind.
So we're not doing that this time. Mm-hmm. Just going to throw air at everybody.
Are you actually going to do that?
Yes.
Okay.
I have a furnace in Edmond. They're working on another one. Mm-hmm. I'm going to build boxes and I have the green light on dry ice now. Mm-hmm. So I'm going to the air go across the dry ice and get nice and cold and shoot out to the. I'm super pumped.
That's going to be very interesting. We might be able to work it out as like a temporary fix for people, you know?
No.
Can't get apart and just throw dry ice in there.
no. Yes, throw one block.
Yeah. Yeah, you're good.
Hey, but Butcher Box is the one that supplied it.
Yeah,
so shout out to Butcher Box.
Thank you so much.
Thank
Appreciate
you.
it.
They're good. And when we first met them, I thought it was like buy meat. That's all they do is just send dry ice to everywhere.
Well, the guy over here, for Butcher Box, it's close to the office, but he manufactures the dry ice for Butcher Box, and then they ship it all, and then that's what they use whenever they pack up their meat.
It's freaking awesome. Yeah. So his name's Ryan. Shout out to that dude. Awesome.
Yeah, you gotta wear gloves handling that too.
Well, you worry about you, okay?
I'm just saying because I got a little burn from it the last time I handled it, and it's not a good situation.
It's very cold, but I'm super excited. If it works the way it is in my head, it'll be pretty. It'll be pretty fun.
Regardless, it's so cool to have an actual unit
running. Yeah.
Because you're just gonna plug it into a generator, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
And then I'm gonna get metal made to shoot out, but then also where our kids are, I'm gonna build it so it shoots out there on them. So if it works, it's gonna be really awesome.
I might be in that case. I might be riding on the trailer this time. So,
but see, I could make it go like into V, so it hits outside there. I don't know. It's just
I don't know. Hopefully, it works. Theoretically, it should. They should feel it. But if you have a big blower, I mean, that thing pushes air like crazy.
2,000 CFM.
Yeah.
So any air will be better than what we have. Mm-hmm. And throwing little big ice cubes in there, it should work.
My favorite definitely was the squirt guns, though.
Oh, absolutely.
It was the best. People really got into it. You know, kids running out there. It's usually really hot. You know, so everyone just wants to get it cooled down. But it's also interactive too. You know, you kind of feel like a superstar as you're walking through there.
Right.
You know, and then you end up seeing people that you know that are there watching the parade. But I think this weekend, this 4th of July, we're supposed to have rain and stuff. Like, it's supposed to be stormy.
And right now, I mean, for anybody that's doing anything in the attic, like especially our heat and air guys and stuff like that, like shout out to them for going, because like Cox, people that's running Cox cable or whatever they do.
Are they not running it?
Huh?
In the attic? They're not.
No, they are, but I'm just saying I would even check on those guys because we did have one guy pass out last year. So it would be, if you're listening to this and somebody's in your house, check on them because it gets toasty.
Yeah. Well, I've been in 2 attics just today. So this is for vents and plumbing, like gas lines. So
what?
Plumbers still get into the attic, you know.
I 100% agree.
I think I can say I'm a plumber now because I got my apprentice card, you know. So just, you know.
That's awesome.
Start calling myself a plumber.
You're an apprentice. You're still learning.
Well, like the guy Mike, he was like, "So are you like more of a sales guy?" I was like, at this point, dude, I don't know. I just do stuff. Like I just get it done.
So you're in my boat.
Yeah, like at this point, it's just there's multiple
just get
hats.
it done.
I don't care what the hats are. It's just, you know, because I have the hardest time whenever people ask me like what I do, and then I just start thinking, you know, it's like, well, technically it's this, but it's also a variety of whatever.
You're the marketing guy.
Yeah, but I don't know. There's a lot of hats for sure. Yeah, I hit that earlier too, but it's still warm. I don't know why.
Didn't prep it. Anyway, so 4th of July. You don't do a whole lot at the house, or you do fireworks at the house?
We usually have my side of the family come out, and we'll do artillery shells. And of course, we do it one at a time because it just extends. If we chip in, we usually chip in. Other years, we've chipped in and bought like $500 worth of fireworks. Before that's a really good amount. But I think we're a bit limited this year, so it's whoever.
But it's like a pack. You get the packs.
Well, they used to sell it's like a $500 pack. Of
that's what I'm saying.
Yeah, you could go through it like that.
Man, it's been a while since I've done it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I went ahead and stopped by there and got sprinklers already for my kids because typically the closer you get to it. Oh yeah, shout out to Carrie Matthew. She came into the office and handed out a
little pretty picture for.
She came in and dropped some off. She does that every year. So during the fall, she usually does pumpkins. So it's just cool little stuff she does.
I've done my fireworks shopping.
Yeah,
that's awesome.
Yeah, so
that's all you need.
You're done. You guys can't shoot fireworks in the neighborhood, though, right?
No, I do fountains in the
cul-de-sac.
Okay. Nobody's really gonna stop a fountain.
Mm-hmm. My favorite are those belts of fireworks. Like the China, what do they call them? Chinese, whatever. And they just all pop once you get them started.
They just.
Do they call them a daisy chain over here?
I don't know.
You know what I'm talking about, though.
They just pop.
Yeah.
Like black cats.
Is that what that is?
Yeah, it's like a string. Yeah. You hit one, it goes.
Yeah, that one.
Yeah.
Those are my favorite. But
it's just too loud.
Yeah, well, in the Philippines is my favorite. The best
because they made them there. What are you talking about?
Well, yes, but it's not regulated. You can buy whatever you want, and then you can pop them anywhere. So I remember it was Y2K, and I was freaking out about Y2K. So this 2000, it was 99, and we were, I was 9 at the time, 8. I was 8. And I was so worried about it, so worried about Y2K. And I remember
the world was going to shut down,
dude,
because our computers couldn't go.
Yeah, the clock resets. I remember going to the bank and I was first hearing about that because my dad had made me an account, so I could do my little bakery brownie business. And the chatter was there, and then it just started to get more. And I remember filling up buckets of water and stuff because I'm like, hey. This is me as an 8-year-old. Like, really? I'm more freaked out than my parents about this.
Right.
And I remember going outside and all the fireworks are going off for New Year's. Because New Year's is the one celebration that's huge over there because they don't really do Christmas, really.
Right.
But New Year's is huge. And I think that's from the Chinese influence, just the New Year and stuff. And I remember going outside and watching all the fireworks. And it was just, I kid you not, it's like going to Mustang. Right?
Oh, that
park?
Yeah.
So imagine that Mustang Park, but it's all of Oakland. Oh, the whole OKC Metro is doing that. Everywhere. So you're just seeing explosions all in the sky. It's the craziest thing. And I remember going home, and I was like, okay, so 11:30, and I laid in bed and I watched the clock. I watched the clock tick. Cell phones were everything, whatever. Now I'm just watching it tick until it hit midnight. And once it hit 12:01 and nothing happened, I went to bed.
Oh no. Yeah. That's so funny.
So Y2K is something, it comes up occasionally, but I'm like, man, does anyone remember Y2K? It seemed like different areas were more freaked out than others. I don't know how it was in the States.
I mean, it was big because they were all concerned that it was going to shut down, and like you said, it did nothing. Yeah. But I was like, why would a computer not be able to
go past a certain?
Yeah, because now it's like computers are like showing that the thermostat should have been put in in the 90s, and it's like you're going to 24. It's crazy.
Yeah. Well, no one knew, right? I mean, no one really knew what was actually going to happen. There's my Y2K story. So you apparently you didn't care about Y2K. You're like,
I wasn't worried about it. Yeah. Why?
I don't know.
Let it go down.
Yeah.
Let the no.
Oh well,
I was. I mean, if you're gonna worry about something, I was gonna worry about more like 9/11. That's more.
Oh yeah.
But
I remember that What time of day did that happen here?
What?
9/11.
Afternoon.
Okay, so it would have been, I want to say, like 1 o'clock in the morning.
Yeah.
And I remember being in school and finding out about it like then, like at 8 or 9 in the morning.
Right.
Then I'm like, wait, what's happening? Where is it? And then watching the footage, and all that kind of stuff. But I was too young to really know. I didn't feel, since I was raised there, like I didn't really have this whole thing about America,
right.
essentially, But I know my parents and the other missionaries there were like really upset by it. That's what I remember.
I mean, I was in college, and I was like, "What's going on?"
Yeah.
Everybody just stopped. I went to my dorm, and I was like,
well,
anyway.
like Joe Rogan, he'll talk about how, I think he was living in New York at the time, and he was like, man, like everybody turned into being super nice. All these New Yorkers, whatever, all got super nice, all doing American flags, like just for the next like 6 months or something.
Yeah.
And then he's like, nah, people forgot, not forgot about it essentially, but just kind of, it just went away.
Right.
But I think how he references it as, it was like basically how we get over here during the Olympics, where it's like American flags and all this kind of stuff, like united.
Right.
And it was like that for the whole country for, a while.
Oh, wow. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Well, it's inspiring. Well, it sucked that happened for sure, but it's like, it's really nice when the country does come together. I know we're going really off everything at this point.
It's a podcast. We can talk whatever we want.
But I mean, that's what like the 4th of July means. It's supposed to be America's independence, whatever. And, it is a good time to like kind of reflect. But, at the end of the day, it's like we're so torn apart and everything else. It's like, I mean, the election's coming up. Mm-hmm. And after that, I don't know what you would call it, disaster of a
debate.
Yeah. It's like, man.
On both sides, just to be clear.
Huh?
Just on both sides, too.
Yeah. Absolutely.
It's like this. When I share a meme, it was a Simpsons meme. It was the kids in the bus, and thought it was like we're like all in trouble now.
Yeah,
Yeah,
exactly.
Like, oh crap, we're all in trouble. Great. But back to the firework thing. Like I keep a fire extinguisher because I've had it multiple times. Usually we won't have rain in July. All the grass is dry, and I remember there's like a ember from a firework ended up in the next field over. And I remember hopping over the, fence.
The barbed wire fence?
Yeah, the barbed wire fence to try to,
get it out. Holy cow.
Yeah, so that's the part. There was one time, now I have a pallet that actually, those artillery shells come with a plastic case for the cardboard tube.
Yeah.
Or it's like a graphite cardboard tube. And I actually drill those into a pallet.
So they don't fall?
Because one year, whenever we were just putting them on the floor, it fell over. And it hit a truck that was there, blew up underneath the truck, And it was just an old farm truck where it didn't do anything to it. But I was like, oh my gosh, if that hit a gas tank or something, like...
So at my dad's farm, it actually shot and like went at my dad's wife, Barbara.
Yeah.
Like it popped next to her.
Are you serious?
Oh yeah, it was crazy. So that's why we started putting them down because it shot. Because we had a big crowd back then, and it shot at her. Oh, it was crazy. It's like, oh my god, we're about to kill everybody.
I usually have a bunch of people at my house. We usually shoot tannerite too, those exploding targets, with a gun.
Yeah.
And last year, I did 2 different ones. I put one in an old microwave. I don't know how I got this. Put it in the microwave, had a drone up top, and shot it from like 100 yards away. Explosions, piece of metal goes up and almost hits the drone.
Whose drone was it?
I can't remember whose drone it was. But anyway, it was awesome. So I did that, and then I had this tree that was dead. All the limbs were off. I strapped it to the tree, trying to get to the blow
up the middle.
But, with explosions, you got to be able to contain them so their force actually goes in, blah, blah, blah. Did that, and then I want to say the year before, had this old steel cabinet with 2 drawers in it, put 10 pounds in that thing. And I know we had I think some of my parents' friends, so that was the first time I ever met them. It was a couple. And they were sitting on the back porch, and it's, it's still got the roof over it and stuff. They were sitting there, and I had my brother shoot the cabinet. It was probably 100 yards away too. I kid you not, though, this whole cabinet blows up, right? And there's a metal piece that's flying directly towards them, and it ends up hitting my roof like 5 feet above them. So they were like, and so the next day I call my insurance guy and say, hey, I need an umbrella policy.
Now
I'm going to be doing any of this. I want an umbrella policy. So that's when I got and you can get a $1 million umbrella policy for like $300 a year or something like that. I need that.
I thought you said you had an ice chest that you're going to have.
For what? To blow up?
Well, you said you were done with some at your house. That's a perfect thing to blow up.
A freezer. No. Those are still working.
I thought you were just.
We could. It'd be fun.
We don't need it.
Yeah.
I thought it was done.
No, I haven't figured out what we're gonna blow up today. But
today,
yeah, or this 4th of July. But like every one of my kids, like gender reveal, we did tannerite with like the powder, and stuff like that. And I remember it was my daughter's. I had this rifle that I hadn't even sighted in or anything yet. And I remember the day, it was in January. It was so cold. It was like 10 degrees, wind chill going through. Wind was blowing at 40 miles an hour.
Nope.
And I take this gun out and I shoot, not hitting it. I'm like, oh my gosh, this is so embarrassing. So that's one of it. You're like, oh my gosh, I'm so embarrassed.
Right.
But two, the grandparents are out there too, and they're all freezing. It's one of those brutal ones to where if you're out in it, you need to go run. Like, you need to go inside. And I remember they're just standing there waiting, for me to hit this thing. Finally, I grabbed a different rifle that I had that I knew I sighted in, and I was able to hit it.
Yeah.
It was awesome. The powder canister, perfectly flew up. And so the pink trail, it was like a pink rocket going up.
Oh, that's cool.
It was awesome. It was so cool.
Wow. Well... Mine wasn't that. I don't know
What did you guys do? Nothing? I saw a cool one on TikTok. I want to say yesterday, where they had a balloon and they were gonna. It was a mom and I guess her other kid. They're gonna pop the balloon, to show the color inside. They popped the balloon, nothing happened, and so I guess her mom, which out friend, they moved over to her. Y'all are stressing me out. She takes her wig off. She painted her hair blue. And
that's cool.
So that was the actual gender reveal, but it threw people off. But I've seen a couple stories where I want to say it was this guy in Utah that did the whole tannerite gender reveal. Well, I guess they're next to a forest or something. It started a fire. And it burned like 1,000 acres.
Oh, no.
So then this guy gets sued by the government and is threatened with either like $3 million fine or like 10 years of jail time for lighting a forest on fire.
Oh.
Yeah. So that's part of the things that freak me out whenever it's fireworks, anything like that. Gotta have a fire extinguisher, especially you're out in fields and stuff, because that is my worst nightmare. Like there was, since we're on the topic of fire and blowing stuff up, last year, it was a little windy. It was windier than I should have. I have a burn barrel. Okay, so I was burning stuff in there. And this was when Grandma was still alive, and I got a phone call like, "Hey, she can't figure out her TV or something."
Right.
So I was like, okay, I'm gonna run over there real quick. I literally go an acre over to the door. I had this. My phone's going off. My wife's trying to call me. I was like, it's fine. Let me get her situated. Come back. A piece of ember had flown out of the barrel and lit the grass on fire around my house. So this fire is breaking out. And fortunately, thank you, Justin Roberts, my neighbor was over there with his kids, saw this thing go, ran over, and they couldn't get the water. I didn't have the faucets hooked up. They're beating it, with their shirts.
Oh, my goodness.
And I come back, and the fire's out, because I was over there for 10 minutes.
Oh, wow.
And it had burned from the right side of my house all the way around to my backyard, and then the left side is where they stopped it, And I still have, smoke from, the clean out in the yard.
Right.
There's still smoke. It was by my electrical panel. Luckily, we have hardy board siding, so that makes it, resistant, obviously, because it's concrete. But that's probably the most freaked out I've ever gotten from, a fire that could have gotten out.
Dang.
But it makes sense. Now I understand why, every 4th of July and stuff, our grandpa, he would get one of those IBC totes, you know, put in the back of his truck and fill it up with water.
Yeah.
And just be, you know,
Ready to go.
There was one time where one of our fields actually almost lit up on fire because one of the little cousins went out there and was popping fireworks, and it was real dry.
Right.
And it started going. I ran out there, took my shirt, and I figured out, like, that's way better at stopping a fire than water is. Like, you beating it with a towel or something. But you gotta get in there, and you're beating at the base of it, you know, trying to knock
kill
it out.
That's crazy.
Yeah, because I would like to do controlled burns and stuff, but it freaks me out too much. Can't.
I thought you just get an excavator and just make a hole.
Well, yeah, ideally you'd make like a burn ring, and that's what Grandpa and I, whenever we were building our house, he was like, "Hey, we should put a trench, like a burn ring around it." You know, Rachel's like, "That looks ugly." I was like, "Well, it makes sense." You know, there was one time we were driving home from church. It was a Wednesday night. I want to say it was 9 o'clock at night, so it's pitch black, you know, on the roads, and I could see this glow in the distance. You know, I'm like, what is that? And where it looked at, I was like, Our house is on fire. You know, we're driving, you know, you remember those tanks on the left side and it goes up and then goes down? We're there. And from where we can see, we're like, the fields are on fire. Oh my gosh, like, we're freaking out. We drive up there. Kind of find out the neighbor had hay, rented those 2,000 bales of hay, and it stacked them up and they caught fire. And that caught fire, and then it burned his field. So luckily, that road, separated us from it, and they got it contained before, you know, it got crazy. Man. But that
shout out to the fire department this week.
And they're all volunteer too.
Out there.
In Piedmont.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. But that hay burned for 3 days. Dang. You know, because they're not going to put it out. They just put out everything else around it and just let it burn. You know.
Well, talk about loving life. Popping fireworks and blowing up stuff is pretty fun. So, I mean,
it's worth it. Even if you lose a hand, why not?
Hey, at least one person, and what they say, one person this week will lose a finger.
Yeah. Like in America, there's someone this week that has 10 fingers that, you know, you get knocked down to 9. You know, we just don't know.
Whatever.
But there was that football player from years ago too that played for the Giants. That was a lineman, defensive lineman.
And he lost a hand?
He lost 3 of his fingers from a firework accident. And he ended up going back and playing, but he ended up not lasting that long. But, yeah, because if you're a defensive end, like, you got to have your you gotta
all
have
your
both
digits.
hands. You got to have all of it.
Well, I bet you can do without, but
I don't know. His career didn't last very long after that. I'll just
I nearly lost mine because you're supposed to light a firework from back here and throw it. Mm-hmm. Well, I decided to light it here. And it started popping as I was because of the quick. Mm-hmm. And my fingers burnt the tip of them off. I had to sleep with my hand in the ice.
Yeah.
Because it would burn it so bad. Right. But my fingers came back. I still have my fingerprints now. Right. But I thought I lost it.
No kidding.
So I'm very cautious.
It was that bad.
Yeah. Well, tips were burned.
I remember the first time I ever had experience with fireworks, so where, you know, like I was really afraid of it, was probably when I was 12. And they used to sell these things in the Philippines called triangles. And it was literally shaped like a triangle, but it looked like, you know, the C4 cakes that they show? That's what it looked like. That's probably the same material that they use. Right. And it had a faulty fuse on it. And it just pops, right? Yeah. It just blows up. So I lit it, threw it, ran away for a short distance. It didn't go off. Waited a couple seconds.
Those are the worst ones.
Then I went up there, and I got right up on it, and boom. And I remember just me being knocked back, you know, and just dazed, like you had the ringing in your ears and stuff. Like it was that bad. You know?
Nope.
And after that, I was like, that's
kind of
scary. These are kind of scary. But.
Well, I got a torch, like a blowtorch now. Mm-hmm. So
that helps out a lot.
No, I'm just saying now I just got it. So I'm like,
okay. Yeah.
It'll light it up.
You need an extension, like a 10-foot, you know, extension on it or something.
It'd be fun.
Yeah.
All right. Well, sorry that we've been behind last week on podcast, but happy 4th of July. Yeah. We'll do one more on Wednesday. Mm-hmm. But at the end of the day, love and life. Thank you again, everybody. Happy 4th. A&T Mechanical is always here for you. And love and life.